Hey guys! In today's video, I'm talking about the Gorilla Tag Simulation theory. This is my theory since I've made other theory videos in the past that will connect to this actually. So, yeah. Also, before we begin, I'm not talking about any of the Gorilla Tag show stuff, movie from Juan. I think I'm saying that name right. Probably not. Those will not be included in this theory because they are not part of the Gorilla Tag game itself. Technically. So, yeah. Also, before we begin the theory, try to imagine Gorilla Tag is the real world, like our world, and not just some VR game or nothing like that. Okay? Okay, let's begin. Part 1. Map clipping. We can see that entrance right there leads to city. You know, la 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 la. About here, you get the city. Well, I guess technically about, like, right there, you get the city. But then, somewhere by this lamppost, you would have entered arcade. And notice how we don't see no arcade building sticking out at all, which kind of makes no sense. For some further context on what I'm talking about, if we come all the way back here, around here is where the forest map should begin, like that little boundary. This is where a forest map should begin. You know, all the way through this line. So this thing line I'm making with my hand should be the forest one. As we see, we come to the side, we are not in forest, and you don't see this part inside of, you know, forest. And, hold up, if we head into arcade, if we go to the farthest point we can inside arcade, you're gonna notice something. Also, as we're walking, you can notice through the windows, which are only on one side for some reason, only shows city, mountains, and metro, which we will get back to those 3 maps soon. But, as you can see, here we are on the farthest point. There is technically no windows, but we should be in forest right now. But notice how in forest, we don't see this map. As I said earlier, we don't see this at all in forest. Also, it's kind of weird that, well, whoops. And if we come down here, we can notice that the coin slots are just a 2D image. The buttons, they make clicking noises, but nothing happens. So it goes with all of them. See, that's just solid. Solid. Wait. Oh yeah, they make noises. This fridge, for some reason, is locked up, and I don't think we will ever get to know what's in here. Because Gorilla Tag does that. They leave supplies and that lets us know. See, nothing happens. Which is kind of like a video game. Or specifically a Lego game where there's a lot of stuff around, but you can't actually interact with it. Kind of weird. Kind of like a simulation. Anyways, back on topic about map clipping. As we can see, we are somehow still in city. Even though, right there should be forest, and we know next to forest is beach, and then next to beach is always mountains. So, there's an image on screen that's showing what I'm talking about. But, how is city here then? It's somehow it's like they're all clipping through. Or I guess I should say arcade. But also city. Yeah, also city. Because those buildings right there extend far outward. Also, notice the different sky here than the sky inside of the forest. Completely different skies. You know, they're supposed to be just like right next to each other. Does it make sense? No, it does not. And if we come inside Monk Mall and we look around, right here at the end of this Monk Mall, either here or outside the window, we should see the Canyons map, right? Right? We all agree that we should see the Canyons map since it should be right there. But what is that? Not a Canyons map. I'm gonna ignore this for later. I'll come back to this. How you can see that. That's kind of weird actually. Also, notice how... Hold up, we have to like scooch. See right there how we can look and see the Monk Mall entrance, but the rest of the city shop is not there. Also notice how it's a different sky than city. Yeah, I know this technically isn't like a map clipping, but as you can see, maps that should be here aren't, just like how Stump isn't. Well, you guys see that line. I don't know what that line is to, but it's just something. But we see how there's no tower to clouds, no Stump, no city, no canyons. Looking over there, there's no, you know, swamp, because swamp should be right there, out that window. Another very obvious instance of map clipping is, if we look here, we can see the metro buildings, city buildings, and the mountains. Notice how far these go out, actually, the city buildings. You would assume if we were to go into mountains, we would see them, right? Well, Let's go check it out. Look at that, right? Well, a bunch of city buildings should be. There was not a single map. I mean, building, my bad. Also, notice the different skies. Once again, this one has one sky. This one has the second sky. Also, notice how the clouds map, for some reason, has a different lighting than everything else. I'm gonna just count that as map clipping too. And the funny thing about the whole mountains and city map, having different skies, is that I made a video in the past talking about this. And the night sky for mountains is the same as this one, which means they did listen to that past video. But will they listen to this one? Who knows? Anyways, part 2. Maps somehow moving around when they shouldn't. Okay, y'all. So the best example for this part 2 is gonna be caves, and I will get onto rotation map and the swamp map soon. We don't talk about the elevator. The elevator's kind of weird. So, as everybody knows, this used to be what people call OG caves. If we look around, it is not. This is what people call it new caves, even though technically it's still not new. It's been out for like almost a year now, or maybe even a year. But if OG caves used to be here, then how is it all the way over there? How did they move an entire cave system, pretty much an exact, or maybe, you know, some people might say, oh, they made an exact, no, it's like the same thing, except they added or changed colors or sorting crystals. And we're not, it's like, how? Not even to mention, the OG caves used to be, like, kind of like farther down that way past this map, in rotation map. How did they move caves twice? If it was here, and then it was in a rotation spot, and now it's here, that doesn't make sense. Sense at all. Like, not at all. It doesn't make sense how this can be here. And yes, I know the yellow crystals are new, but that's just minor details in the grand scheme of things. Like, there should be no way a giant cave system with giant crystals like this should be able to move spots 2 different times. How? So, I don't feel like going down to a rotation map, but 2 maps have been in this rotation spot. Swamp and OG Caves. OG Caves, as we said, has technically moved spots twice, so that already makes this thing a bit suspicious. But the second map out of it, you know, a swamp, has also moved. It moved, like, behind me somewhere, like, that way, more or less. Like, you know, that sewer grate outside. And before you ask, was it weird that it moved from the sewer grate to the, Lost and Found map? Wait. Yeah, thinking about it, yeah, that's not possible. Because the sewer grate technically took you on a straight, curvy path. But that... So I guess, the swamp map has also moved twice. Wow. Shouldn't be possible if this was not a simulation of some type. Also, it's kind of suspicious how the system, like this badge stuff, updates and says you've done something when it has no way to track that if you're not wearing the badge. How does it know? Unless someone's watching us. On God, I low-key do not feel like going down to the ghost reactor. But what I think about the ghost reactor, you know, the only things we see that try to attack us or move on their own is it's rogue AI that the Gorilla Tag team can't control. So they have us, people who can technically die and then come back safely, go out and deal with them. It's the only explanation I really got for that, since there's no reason why they'll stop attacking us. Because, you know, we see Doug, he's pretty peaceful. Matt the Bat, the Shark, all peaceful. So it makes no sense why those guys aren't, unless the rogue AI that broke the code and are trying to get to us. Okay, before I get onto the outro, some honorable mentions is the Clouds tunnel. If we go up there with mods, it's just clouds. The map isn't loading until we get there. I feel like that should have been a map clipping. As we can see right here, tutorial, it's kind of weird that when we first join the game, we spawn inside a pink box and teaches us how to play. Anyways, this is kind of like the Truman Show, but instead of it being a show, it's more or less a simulation where Frank, Lemon, the mod team, the finger painters, everyone else is just watching how we play, how we move, how we talk, etc., and why we can change our voice from this to the whole monkey stuff. It explains a lot. And if we go too rogue, they ban us. Yeah, that's how I'm incorporating the ban system into this. And yeah, so it's all just a simulation with the entire Gorilla Tag staff team watching us, trying to know what we like, we don't like. And Orion Drift is connected to this. But that's for a part 2 video, since I have not played that game. Like, I played it like once, so I don't have enough information on it, so yeah. Anyways, that's all I have for now. If you notice anything different with the Gorilla Tag map, let me know in the comments. So that means the Gorilla Tag team, which I already know is watching this, knows that I know now. I know it's not real. I know it's a simulation. So, yeah. Anyways, subscribe. I'll hopefully be able to put out a part 2 about Orion Drift and some other stuff I missed if the Gorilla Tag team, aka Frank, doesn't get me.